it stays so hushed that you have to be looking at the speedometer to go, oh, that's too fast. Hey crew, I've got the key to that 22 Mercedes-Benz S580. We are going to take it for a drive, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. The new Generation S-Class was introduced for 21, so no major changes for 22. There's that large chrome grille, the tri-star hood ornament, projector LED headlights, DRLs and turn signals as standard. Down low are non-functional vents, but then we do get functional air curtains on the side. This one is painted in emerald green metallic, and I love this color because it looks black in shadow, but then you get the sun to hit it, and that metallic flake with the green just shines at you. At the side with the AMG Line package, we find a set of 20-inch multi-spoke polished alloys. Great design to these, and they're wrapped in Pirelli P0 All Seasons, 255 section front and 285 at the rear. There's chrome for the side sill window trim and door handles, which flush mount if the vehicle is locked. Stepping back to look at the profile, this will take a sec because it's so long. In the US, we only get the long wheelbase version, and it's so stately. At the back are LED taillights and turn signals with these cool rows of LED towers inside. S580 badge, chrome trim along the trunk lid, and then down low, more chrome with gloss black for the diffuser, and these two chrome accented exhaust finishers around the 4 individual pipes. The S-Class just demands this respect. It's got that curb appeal. I'm curious, do you guys think this is better looking than the new BMW 7 Series? Let me know in the comments. And let's check out that interior. Opening up and looking inside at this Sienna Brown and black interior with Nappa Leather seats as standard that are quilted and perforated, though interestingly not heated or ventilated. On the doors, we find 2 tones of leather, contrast stitched and quilted here. This one has the enhanced ambient lighting that creates a really cool effect at night, and the light changes color. There's gloss black here and here with the optional lacquer flowing lines. Neat, but I would choose wood. And then there's a Burmester 3D sound system as standard with these beautiful aluminum speaker grates. Leather goes all the way down the doors. We have these 4 controls, including sunshades for that back sunroof, the back window, and each side window. Stepping in. Behind my own seat at 6 feet tall, I've got a generous portion of legroom. The seat back's all in leather. There's a map pocket. Good sized foot pockets to slide my feet under. Thigh support is superb, and headroom is plentiful. Gets the thumbs up from me. There are air vents in the middle with this very satisfying click as they adjust, and they're also on the side. Click once again. There's no third zone of climate control. You do have 2 USB-C ports and an AC outlet. The draft shaft hump is big, but not unable to be overcome. And my head does clear the roof. If you don't have a middle passenger, there's an armrest that comes down with 2 hidden cup holders and a slot for your smartphone to sit. It does not charge, that's an option. There's padding for the leather armrest, and inside we find just a bit of storage with 2 more USB-C ports. Now I know there are many options you can equip to the S-Class to make the back seats extravagant, but the fact that you don't have rear heated seats or a 3rd or 4th zone of climate is somewhat of a bummer as standard. The space is great though. Let's check out the front. Now, there are standard soft closed doors on the S-Class, but let's hear the door close noise. Yes, well-built thud. Smart keyless entry for the rear and front doors, plus it says Mercedes-Benz on the handles, in case you've forgotten what you're driving. Up front, ooh, fluffy pillows. Plus, standard now, heated, ventilated, and massaging seats. That's what I'm talking about. The controls for those seats have these knurled finishes to them. They're 3-position memory for the front chairs, 4 one-touch windows, power adjusting and power folding door mirrors. Pull this toggle to open up the trunk lid, where inside you'll find a free set of golf clubs. Forgot those were in there. golf clubs for reference, to show the 19 cubic feet of space. Lots of room back here. You can't fold down the rear chairs to expand that room, but there is a pass-through for skis or long, skinny items. And under the floor, you've got a little extra room. No spare tire, though. Power close and lock feature is on the trunk lid. Comes down quick. Don't mind the rattle. That's from the aluminum license plate cover. Stepping in. Let's see the soft close from the inside. Drivers get this heated leather wrap steering wheel with a gloss wood rim. It feels excellent in the hands. Capacitive touch on the left and right hand sides of the wheel work most of the time, unless your hands are a bit sweaty. Plasticky paddles on the back of the wheel. Beautiful knurled ends to the stalks. Reconfigurable instrument cluster is high resolution and so cool. The 3D effect to it, you can turn on and off here. That's an option, and it creates some visual depth that's hard to translate via video. There's a head-up display as an option. Leather up on the dashboard, more of these wonderfully clicky air vent controls. The flowing lacquer lines, again, look neat, but not as great as wood because that would replace all of this gloss black that smudges, scratches, and collects dust. Inside, we've got a wireless smartphone charging pad, 2 USB-C ports, 2 different cup holders, and a spot for stuff. Then there's this 12.8-inch OLED touchscreen display that is wonderfully high resolution. It's intuitive, it's responsive, it has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Further back is a leather padded armrest, and inside we've got quite a bit of storage with 2 more USB-C ports. Visibility is stellar, and there is standard blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic. Love this cabin color. It's comfortable, it's spacious, the tech is user-friendly and cutting edge. I just think that at $130,000, there should be a bit more going on in those rear seats. Let's take the S580 for a drive now. All right, let's fire it up. My goodness, from inside the car, you barely hear that V8 crank on. And then when it's sitting there at idle, this is just from experience, coming out in the early hours of the morning, having it just purring in your driveway compared to a normal V8's rumble is so pleasant. Sets the right tone for your day. Our drive modes are selected here, and we'll begin in comfort. Then we'll pull up on the stalk to go into reverse. And that brings up a very high resolution backup camera system. You get your bird's eye view off to the left. You can rotate through a myriad of different camera angles, and you can even pan around the whole car if you want to. How cool is this tech? And let's back on out with the wide angle. We do have equipped on this vehicle the rear wheel steering system with 4.5 degrees of angle. You can option in 10 degrees, which cuts the turning radius down to just about nothing. And we will do a turning radius test with this rear wheel steering angle just a bit later. For now, let's do the world famous horn test. Yes. Delivers the message. That is for sure. And the turn signal sound. I like it. It indicates, but doesn't irritate. Good one, Miles. Powertrain. In the S580, we've got a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8. It makes 496 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. That is routed through a 9-speed automatic gearbox and sends power to all 4 tires with the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. Now, this transmission is both brilliant and flawed because I've noticed a few times if you kind of come up to a slowing stop and then you need to, the light goes green, you got to get back on the power, it will hiccup and creates this like shudder in the body that isn't luxurious. However, As soon as you're up to speed and you've got consistent throttle, or even you're just accelerating, the gear changes are imperceptible. You cannot pick them out as you're moseying along. So there's just a little bit of fine tuning that needs to happen there for that low speed stuff, but otherwise it's just blissful. And this motor, we've experienced it in a variety of different Mercedes and even Aston Martin products, and I love it every time I sample it. It's so potent, but super smooth. And here in comfort drive mode, the S580 is just a velvety transportation device. And adding to your level of relaxation and serenity are these seats, which just give you this gentle embrace. They do not squeeze too hard. They just buoy you up in perfect comfort. They're so adjustable and extremely ergonomic. And they come with a variety of different massage options. Let's do that turning radius test right about now, before the TRX comes and gets us. Yes! Look at that tight turn. Rear wheel steering is amazing. And then the power out of the hole, even in comfort, is wonderful. Now, normally in comfort, when you work into the throttle, it's very lazy, and I cannot for the life of me tell the difference between efficiency and comfort. Both want to upshift quite a bit to get you into a more fuel-efficient gear, and both just really kill that throttle response. But in both, if you put your foot harder on the throttle, it will wake up that motor, and you've got motivation. The ride quality from this adaptive damper and air spring setup is magnificent. You do not, like some other Mercedes-Benz products, hear bumps as you go over them. They're all just muted, and you kind of just float wonderfully over those imperfections. It's not quite Rolls-Royce levels of dampening, but it's very close, and dollar per dollar, it's possibly too close to the Rolls-Royce Ghost driving experience. I'm not going to call Phantom in here, but Ghost versus this, it's too close. How about performance? Let's do a real-world 0 to 60 test next. In preparation for that, I've got my race box set up, not here on the windshield, not on the front window, but up here on the sunroof, because I wasn't getting signal anywhere else. And there is not a launch control, I should just say that. In the standard, not AMG version of the S-Class, we're just going to go into the Sport Plus drive mode, and then I'm going to brake boost it a bit. Now, I don't want to press my foot too hard on the brake at a stop, or it will go into the auto hold, so I'll just see if I can find somewhere in between. Boom, there it is, hold on a second, just a second, 4.48 seconds. And that lines up remarkably well with what independent tests and Mercedes-Benz have said for the 0 to 60, which is extra impressive because this is, as I said, a real world test. We were facing a slight uphill, the tires weren't perfectly warmed, but that is just consistently potent performance. And you felt that the first gear was a little sluggish, and then as soon as it upshifted, the engine just churned on. And you are rocketing forward. I am talking about some serious sleeper speed here. And you have no idea how fast you're going. The engine does sound good, and that's one indicator. But it stays so hushed that you have to be looking at the speedometer to go, oh, that's too fast. it just keeps pulling. And there is a manual mode. We've got these paddles on the wheel, so we should try to use them. Downshifts happen eventually. And the upshifts are a little delayed as well. For reference, the red line is here. It's this inner of the two circles on this interesting but pretty cool digital gauge design. And it won't let you upshift yourself. It'll go to red line and upshift for you. So maybe you don't use manual mode. You just hold the right paddle, go back to D, and just put your foot down. And hold on. Goodness, this thing is quick. Now the lingering question is whether it can also handle its 2.5 tons of weight. So we're going to find out by 1, turning off stability control, and then 2, taking this curve with some speed. So clamp down on these brakes. Didn't love the feel of those. Turning is not quick. Stability in the corner is excellent. Controls its body nicely. And gets on the power. Okay, so I didn't love the feel of the brakes. Hard on the pedal, it kind of gave up on me. The braking distance itself was just okay. The turn-in was sluggish, didn't expect a lot there. But the stability in the corner was sublime, with the rear wheels now turning in the same direction as the fronts. So this is not going to be the same handling dynamo as the Audi S8, but it can hold its own. So let's change up the display here. Go into the comfort drive mode, and then activate the adaptive cruise control features with lane keep assist. Use the lane change assist, where if the vehicle spots an opening, it'll change lanes for you. Love the animations on the head-up display as well. And you'll note I did need to check in on the wheel. This isn't really a hands-free exclusive feature, at least at higher speeds. It'll work its own at low speeds in traffic, but this is really just to show you how well it stays in the center of the lane, even on a curve. These standard safety features will reduce your driving fatigue quite a bit on a long road trip. And we can also hear at these highway speeds that though you can sense the wind noise is there, it's like the car is batting it back. Stay away! To keep the cabin quiet. Road and tire noise, not a big deal either. And I feel like at this point, we can assign a MilesPerHr word of the day to the 22 S580. And that word is aplomb, meaning this car has an assurance and a poise that never makes you question what it is built to do. And that is to get you where you want to go comfortably, quickly, and with a degree of pride in your mode of transportation. Before we hop into pricing and competition next, 2 quick things to share. The top speed of the S580 is a relatively low 130 miles per hour, and the fuel economy is 16 mpg city, 25 on the highway, and 19 combined. The starting figure for the 6-cylinder powered S500 is about $111,000, and if you want the V8, which I think you should, it's an extra $7,000. Competitors. I drove one very recently, the new 7 Series, and we'd probably look at the 760 to compete with the S580. That car was around $115,000 to start. It made 536 horsepower, got to 60 in 4.2 seconds, and managed 21 combined MPG. There's the Audi S8 as well. It's $118,000 to start. It makes 563 horsepower, gets to 60 in 3.3 seconds, and has fuel economy of just 16 combined. First, the 7 Series. I'm very impressed with that new model. The interior, the technology, particularly the back seat accommodations, are incredible. The ride quality is superb. The potency of that motor is profound, and the handling is quite good. However, it does have a fatal flaw in my opinion, and that is the face. It's just really hard for me to get around that, and it's something that's supposed to be stately and something to be proud of. I don't know if I could say I'd be proud parking and walking away from that car. The Audi S8, meanwhile, is very well riding. It has tons of power. Straight line speed's amazing. Handling is astonishing for its size. But its fatal flaw is probably that its technology and interior comforts are not at the same caliber as the S580 or the new 7 Series. So while each of those two competitors have very strong elements to them, I think that the S580 as a complete package doesn't have a fatal flaw. It has things that its competitors do better, but it's just so well-rounded. And is something that I would be proud to drive every single day. It's the S580 for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this POV drive review, and I'm curious which you would choose, S580, Audi S8, or BMW 760i. Please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to get notified. And wait a second, Sport Plus. I'll see you next time.